Welcome, amazing friends. And in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to solve this tricky math Olympiad exponential equation. It's going to be amazing. And at the end of the solving, we are going to check for our solution. So join me and learn a lot of skills today, okay? Now, this is what we have to get x. So we begin with a solution. Now, what do? When you look at this, just remember that each time you have a number 1 is raised to a power of any power, it is always 1. Now let's apply it here. When you have 1 to the power of x, it is the same thing as 1. Then we have plus 10 to the power of x, which is equal to 100 to the power of x. Now what do again? This is the same as, so we're going to have 1 plus 10 to the power of x is equal to, is there possibility of changing this 10 to have this 100 to have the same base with 10? Let's see to that. You know that 100 is the same as 10 multiplied by itself, which is 10 to the power of 2. So in that case, we are going to have this 100 to be 10 to the power of 2 for 100, then raised to the power of x. Amazing. Now, what do again? Remember this rule, which says that a to the power of m to the power of n, when you have it, the powers multiply. So we have a to the power of mn. So in that case, this is also the same as a to the power of n to the power of m. These three are the same. So let's apply this here. So we're going to now have, this is giving us 1 plus. So we have 1 plus 10 to the power of x is equal to. Now, if you observe, we switched the power. Did you see? So let's switch the power. So we're going to now have 10 to the power of x is raised to the power of 2. This and this are the same. So what do? We are going to observe that this 10 to the power of x is common. So we can choose to use a letter to represent it. So we can say, let 10 to the power of x be a letter like y. Now what do? Let's replace this with y. And to do that, we are going to now have, so we can take this off. So this gives us, so we have it from here, 1 plus the whole of this, you have taken it as y. So we have y is equal to, this is the same as y. So we have y squared. Now what do again? You observe this has led you to a quadratic equation because the highest power of y is 2. So arrange it to make it look beautiful. So what you do here is the one with the highest power we begin the equation, okay? So we are rearranging. So we are going to have, this is the same as y squared is equal to 1 plus y. I hope you know that when you have a is equal to b, it is the same as b is equal to a. So this is the same as this. So in that case, we are going to have y squared. Remember, this y is positive. So you are going to subtract y from both sides. And if you do that, you have negative y. Then this one is positive. To remove it, you subtract 1 from both sides. So you have negative 1. And when you have removed this, you are left with 0. Did you see that? So this is what we have. Now at this point, you can use any of the methods for solving quadratic equation. I'm going to teach you how to use the formula method, okay? So what you do here is, for the formula, we have it that y is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now what do? Remember that in this formula, what we put in are these values of a, b, and c. And the general quadratic equation from which this formula was derived is given as this. Did you see that? So what it means is that your a is always the coefficient of x squared. So what's the coefficient of y squared here? Is 1. So your a is 1. Now your b is the coefficient of your x. So what's the coefficient of y here? Remember, there is 1 here. So it's going to be negative 1. So we have b is equal to negative 1. I hope you are seeing what we're doing. Now your c is your constant. So which one is the constant? The constant is the one without variable. And what you have here is negative 1. Did you see? So let's plug this into this formula to now have y is equal to negative, okay? Our b is negative 1, remember. So we're going to put it in a bracket. Then bring down plus or minus square root of your b is -1. So you have -1 raise it to the power of 2 like this. Okay, then -4, your a is 1 and your c is -1. I hope you are seeing it. Now what do? Divide this by 2, we multiply a, our a is 1. So let's simplify. This is going to give us y is equal to negative multiplies negative is positive. So we have 1 plus or minus square root of -1 squared is -1 multiplied 2 times, and that will give us +1. Then multiply this, it gives us +4. Okay, all divided by, so we divide this, multiply this, it gives you 2. Now what do again? This is going to give us y is equal to 1 plus or minus, add this, it gives us 5, then divided by 2. So in that case, you get your y, you are going to now have y as, we have y is equal to 1 plus, take the positive, then square root of 5. This root 5 is the prime root, is the prime surd, okay? It cannot be reduced anymore, so you leave it like that. Then you divide by these 2, okay? So this is the first value of y. Now the second value of y is going to be 1 minus, okay, then square root of 5 all divided by 2. This is the second value of y. But remember, the question is to get x. Now let's recall we made the statement. We recall that we said 10 to the power of x is equal to y. Okay, so let's take the first value of y. So we're going to now have 10 to the power of x is equal to our y is 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. Now to get x, we are going to take log of both sides, okay? So in that case, we are going to have log of 10 to the power of x is equal to log of 1 plus root 5 all divided by 2. Now what do again? Remember this rule of logarithm, which says log of a number to the power of x. Just use the power to multiply the log, so it becomes x log. Then repeat this log a. So we are going to apply this rule, and to do that, from here we are going to now have, so this gives us, so we are going to use x to multiply, so it gives us x log 10 is equal to log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. You see what we're doing? Now what do? To get your x, you divide by this log 10. So you divide both sides so that the equation will be balanced. Did you see that? So this cancels this. And in that case, we are going to have x is equal to, so we have x is equal to log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2, okay, all divided by log of 10. Now don't be too fast to conclude that this is your value of x. It's not yet simplified. Now let me show you how to simplify this. And to do that, we are going to have log of a is divided by log of b. It gives you log of a, then base b. Okay, this is another guide. Now let's apply it here. So if you do it, you are going to have x is equal to log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. Then this 10 is going to serve as the base. So we are going to have this. Did you see it? So we are going to have x as, so you can have x as this. You can also leave it as x is equal to log of 1 plus root 5 all over 2, knowing fully well that this is a common log. Now this is for the first value of y. Let's check, let's also get the value of x for the second value of y. Now remember we said that also, so recall also that 10 to the power of x is equal to y. Okay, then we have it that 10 to the power of x is equal to, the second value of y, we got it as 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. Now you're going to ask yourself question. You observe that the base we have here is what? Is a positive base. So if this base is a positive base, when you simplify the right side, you see that 1 minus square root of 5, when you divide it by 2, is going to give you a negative answer. This gives you a negative answer. And in that case, if what we have at the right side is negative and the left side is a positive base, it means that this value of y is not acceptable. I hope this is clear. So in that case, we are not accepting this value. We accepted this value because this is giving us positive when you simplify. I hope this is clear. So we are concluding that this value of y is not acceptable. Okay, so we are not accepting this value of y. And what it means is that the real value of x for this question is this. Now, the next thing to do is to check for our solution. And to do that, this is what we have. Remember that these two answers are the same. Okay, this is common log. You can put the base, you can still choose not to put the base. The two answers are the same. So to check, we're going to now have, to put the value of x here, we have 1 is raised to power of x. This is our x, okay? So we have log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2, then plus 10 raised to the power of log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. Is it going to give us, will it be equal to 10 to the power of log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2? Now remember, this is log of 10, so we can still return our 10. Okay, let's put the 10 there. Remember we said that whenever you raise 1 to any power, it gives you 1. So in that case, from here, we're going to have the whole of this is going to give us 1. I hope you are seeing it. Then plus, how do we simplify this? Let me remind you of a rule that will guide us. And what does the rule say? The rule says that if we have a and is raised to a power of log of, let's say, log of b base a, provided that the base of the log and the general base are the same, your answer gives you b. Okay, this is the rule of logarithm that will help us. Now in that case, if you look at this, you observe that this base and the general base are the same, so your answer is going to be 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. You see what we're doing? Then is it the same thing as, let's check the right side. For this side, you observe what we have as the base is 100. Now what do you do to this? For this, we are going to simplify this, knowing fully well that 100 is the same as 10 to the power of 2, okay? Then raised to the power of log of, let's adjust this, okay? Log of 1 plus root 5 divided by 2, then base 10. Did you see that? Now from this point, what do you do? Just also know that this 2 multiplies this log. So from here, we're going to have 1 plus, this is 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. Is it the same thing as, we have 10 to the power of 2 log 1 plus root 5, okay, divided by 2. Did you see that? Then base 10. So at this point, this number, which is the coefficient, turns to be the power of the log. So we are going to now have it as 1 plus root 5 over 2. Is it the same as, observe now that this and this are the same. So in that case, we are going to have 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. This 2 here becomes the power of this number. I hope you are seeing what we're doing. So in that case, we want to check the left side, and let's also check the right side. For the left side, we are going to now have 1 plus, let's take the LCM of it, okay? So this is over 1. So the trick is, use this 2 to multiply this one. It gives us 2 plus, use 1 to multiply this, and 1 multiplies this numerator, gives us 1 plus root 5 divided by, multiply the denominator, and 1 multiplies 2 gives us 2. So we have this, okay? Is it the same thing as this? Let's simplify the right side. And if you do that, we have 1 plus root 5 raised to power of 2 divided by, this 2 will also be raised to the power of 2. You see what we're doing? Now we are going to now have it as, this gives us, this is going to 2 plus 1 gives us 3 plus root 5 divided by 2. Is it the same thing as, let's expand the right side. For the right side, remember that if you have a plus b raised to power of 2, it is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so we're going to have to expand the numerator. We have 1 will be raised to the power of 2. So we have 1 squared plus, use 2 to multiply this. 2 multiplies 1, so we have 2 multiplies 1 multiplies root 5, and it will give you 2 root 5. Okay, so we have 2 root 5, then plus multiply this, raise this to the power of 2. So we have square root of 5 raised to power of 2. This square cancels the square root, we are left with 5 divided by 2 squared is 2 times 2, which will give us 4. Did you see how we got that? So in that case, we are going to now have, for the left side, we have 3 plus root 5 over 2. Is it the same as 1 squared is 1 times 1, giving us 1, and 1 plus this gives us 6. So we have 6 plus this divided by 4. Now observe that here we are still going to simplify. So we have 6 divided by 4 plus 2 root 5 divided by 4. And when you divide this, this goes here, we have 3. So it gives us 3 divided by 2 plus 2 goes there, 1 goes there, 2. So we're going to have square root of 5 divided by 2. For the right side, for the left side, we have 3 plus root 5 divided by 2. I hope you are seeing what we're doing. Now we are still asking if these two are the same. And to make our conclusion, we are going to have 3 plus root 5 divided by 2. Is it equal to, this is the same as 3 plus root 5 divided by 2. Did you see that? So what did you observe? You observe that the left side is the same with the right side. And in that case, it means that our answer is correct. So we are concluding that x is equal to log of 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2 base 10. And I hope you really learned a lot. Let's know how much in the comments. It helps us to serve you best. Remember, you can share this for more people to learn the skills we displayed. Don't forget to give this tutorial a thumbs up. Subscribe for more tips. I will see you in our next class to tell you more. Till then, bye bye.